That's the song Nairobi by the Ohanglaman Makadem, who is our guest today. He shall be with us from 3 p.m., so stay tuned. You're listening to Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug, and this is Afro Groove. So there are a couple of birthdays today, and I want to send out a shout out to one DJ Delight, aka David Muravi. A very happy born day from us here at Afro Groove. Davey, we're going to play you a song or two to celebrate later in the show. Coming up next, The Soil, Aline Frazao, and Olivia Ambani. By Kenyan songstress Olivia Ambani, and before her was Angolan singer-songwriter Aline Frazao with the song Tando. And starting us off with that beautiful a cappella melody was South African trio The Soil. Now, if you've been listening to the show the last 3 weeks or so, you will notice that I have played Zimbabwean Afrofusion. Well, they call themselves Afrofusion, Afro traditional fusion music group Mokomba. So Mokomba from Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe. They are a multi-award winning 6-man group, and they have performed all over the world and at prestigious music festivals like North Sea Jazz and New Orleans Jazz. And I mean, when I discovered them, I was truly impressed is such a basic word. If there's a word I was just excited. I guess that's the word I would use. They are refreshing and explosive, and yes, I'm going to play them today. So now, Mokomba, Manu Gallo, and Huma Sekela are now frequent artists on this show. Now, also lined up in the next session is Gambian singer and kora master Sona Jobate. This past weekend, she received an honorary doctorate from the Berklee College of Music in Boston, together with Asher Raymond and Roberta Flack. It is well deserved, I must say, and it's a long time coming for an artist of such stature to be recognized like that. So I'm gonna play the song Yarabi from her 2011 album Fasia. Now, I want you to Google Lokua Kanza and tell me, isn't he the poster child for Black Don't Crack? Because the DRC crooner is 65 years old. I'm just take a minute, Google Lokwa Kanza Images. You tell me if that's a 65-year-old man. For sure, Black Don't Crack. He's also coming up with a song, Plus Vivant. DJ Delight, if you're listening, the next two songs are dedicated to you. So, for those who don't know, DJ Delight, aka David Moravi, is a friend of the show. He's been a guest here. He is such a repository of all things Afro music, and he's such a helpful resource. So we're gonna play two songs from two of his favorite artists. So we're gonna play. So he says he plays this song every day in his car. So if he's heard it already, we're gonna play it again. Well, he's going to listen to it again. Excuse me. The song is "Weekend Special" by Brenda Fassie. And then the other song we're going to play is by someone who was very dear to him. He was an Afro jazz legend, one of my favorite, in fact, my favorite jazz musician of all time, Hugh Masekela. So those two songs are to you, Davey. And then we're going to play the universal birthday song because I know so many people born in May. Let's take it away. All right, everybody. It sounds like we have Shidana Mitambo. Something's happened internally and we're sorting it out. Meanwhile, yes, DJ Delight, I'm sure you caught the first two songs. Happy birthday to you. Now, I need to let you guys know something. In my family alone, on both sides, the total number of people born in May are at least two football teams. And if I include my friends, that's three football teams. Now, I can't shout out to everyone, but I will mention a few of us. So, to my mom and the May babies of Adwamushege, my uncle Ken, Kemi, DJ Delight, Bosi Shakti Suri, Shiro Karanja, Kiberohio, Michael Wanjala, Tony, Diana, Roslyn, and yours truly, a happy birthday to us. Now, in the studio already here with us is none other than Ohangla man himself, Makadem, who we shall be talking to about his career and the album he's releasing this Friday at Alliance. Uh-huh.
Style.
It's your music style. Oh, absolutely. We shall be enlightened today. Yeah. So, in a few minutes, we shall be listening to Ohanglaman. In the meantime, let's see if the technical situation is sorted. And the next song, the song we'll be playing is actually Dindalo by the Ohanglaman himself, Makadem. You're listening to Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug, and this is Afro Groove. I'm your host, Nyokabi Kimari. The song you just heard was Bindalo by the Ohangla man himself, Makadem, who is our guest today. Karibu Sana.
Sante.
My gosh, so this song is just amazing. We were talking about it earlier. Tell us a little more about this song. What inspired you to write it? It's first of all, it's a banger. This was not on the list that you sent me.
No.
This one I picked.
Because I'm just sending you what I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is all Nyatiti.
Yeah.
This is Nyatiti, but that's not what I played when I composed it.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to work on it very soon and just play it with my Nyatiti as well.
Uh-huh.
So Dindalo means go till the land, go to the farm, go to the garden, and the shamba.
Uh-huh.
These go Ndalo is the garden or the place you cultivate your food. And I was inspired by a traditional piece, a women's song, when they play with what we call peke. Peke, a shakers made out of bottle tops.
Bottle tops, right.
Yeah. And Luos have a style of music, especially women, whereby they sing choruses and then they shake. The bottle tops are put in a wire that goes round, so they hold it by hand and shake it. So Dindalo is I based it on that, but actually based more than one. There is also Mosnago, greet right. For me. That's Musna, Bwana, Musawa. So, but now I made my own verses about because the chorus, one part of the chorus says, "Greet for me that boss, Musna Bwana." So the twist in that song is the parents to this Luo man are calling his wife a boss because she does not till the land. She doesn't go to the village.
Right.
And he's trying to explain to them that you don't understand because that money, that cow that I bought, it is her money. She's the one who bought that. So she's not what you think. She does not have to go to till land to be a woman.
Wow.
She's working.
Already.
Yes, she's working. So, and what you get at home, some of the money, some of the things that I buy, actually has.
Oh wow, that just speaks to your imagination.
It's real, by the way.
Yeah.
Because most rural young Luo men have that problem with their parents who are from the rural. We need a woman who is going to stay here. We need a woman who is going to the garden.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes they're totally oblivious, even when they know that the woman is working. Probably she's a doctor, she's doing business, whatever. They totally don't want to think about that.
Yeah. Because
they still want to maintain what they call tradition.
Traditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, traditions are not specific to Luos, because I know that is it's a shared sentiment across cultures.
I know that. It's just that I based it for. I was addressing the Luo because the song is in the Luo.
It's a beautiful song. It's very catchy. I absolutely love the bass line.
Yeah.
Like I was telling someone the other day, the first sound we hear as Africans when you're playing a song is actually the beat that carries a song, which is usually a bass line. If it's a drum, it's a bass drum. If it's on the nyatiti, it's the lower note first. Then you hear the melody. But yeah, I absolutely love the way that song was arranged, the energy, the video. Because we always watch the video, see if the video matches the song. Absolutely brilliant. So welcome to Afro Groove.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you, first of all, fundamental question. So at least I can say I've known Makadem since, or at least I've listened to Makadem or heard Makadem since 2007, 2006, when Idi Cheng at a concert someplace.
I can't even remember last time I performed with Idi.
That's a long time ago.
Very long.
For the benefit of my listeners, who by the way are not just from Kenya, we have listeners across the continent and across the Afro diaspora, because this show and why you're so perfect as a guest here is we just play music by Afro musicians across the globe, whether you are from the continent or you're from the diaspora or you're in Europe or Latin America. This is the show for Afro musicians. So tell us, Makadem, who are you?
I'm a musician. Yeah, I'm a musician, and by that I mean I write my own music. I perform my own music. I play nyatiti. That's what I major on. And a nyatiti is a 8-string Luo lyre. It's classified as a lyre, and that's what I major in right now. But before that, like when I did Dindalo, at the time I used to still play the acoustic guitar or just be that kind of a rock star on stage. Yeah. But right now I'm majored so much on the nyatiti. I write my music and play them with the nyatiti. And I'm a touring artist as well. I'm always on tour. That's why it's always very hard to get me because I travel a lot. Why? Because I think as an artist, a musician, you don't need to one of the pillars actually is to tour.
Yeah.
Go around instead of staying in one place, always performing in one place, then you become very common in that place. Yeah. So yes. So Makadem is a musician, a Nyatiti man, Nyatiti musician, and an Afro fusion musician, an African musician.
Wow, good. And talking about tours, so I was telling Makadem earlier. By the way, there's a camera over there. If you want to address anyone, I was telling Makadem earlier that I have met very many musicians, and I've asked people to send me, say, just a profile or talk about their profile, but nobody's ever sent me So Makadem sent me plus his rider, how he sits on stage, where the monitors should be, what instruments are there, what his expectations are with the sound. For me, what came to my mind, or what I thought of immediately, is how invested you are in your craft, and that you're also invested in us, the listeners and the performers. You want us to be with you there.
Yes.
On stage, how you sit, how you sing, how you perform. You're actually sharing with us. By sharing that with me, I felt you're inviting me to your world. That's very different from what I've experienced before. Have you always done that? Shared your rider?
Yeah, I do. It's we call it more of electronic press kit, whereby it's meant for the media, for the booking agents, for anyone who wants to know you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
So, for example, if I was to come to your radio and you want to know me, the best thing is just to share that, because it has my bio, it has my history.
Yeah.
It has how I perform.
Yeah.
What kind of sets am I performing?
Yeah.
For example, if you look at it, where you're looking at the rider, that shows how the stage is. You'll also see that the different riders actually.
Yeah.
Based on
I saw that.
what set.
Yes.
Is it a big band set? Is it an electronic set? Or is it an acoustic set? Yeah.
Well, it just speaks to how organized and deliberate you are about your music.
We have to. And I mean, when you're a musician, that's why I call myself a musician. Because sometimes artists behave differently. And by artist, I mean either a singer, a rapper, who has earned the name.
Yeah.
They're branded. So probably popular. But they're not musicians in that they don't play instruments and then perform with that instrument. So that's what I call an artist. And artists, because they tend to have big names and more influential, you find that this is how they look at things differently from how a musician looks at it. Because when you're a musician, you're more interested in musicianship, your craft, than your personality and being entitled about who you are. Those kind of things that make you don't want to talk to this person, you can't share your number, you can't share this. That's a celebrity's thing. So as a musician, you know, we concentrate more on how good, how unique your craft is, you know.
Yeah.
And so you want to share that.
Yes. Oh, well, what you said is so profound. So you distinguished musicianship from being an artist
Yes,
or a
celeb.
or a celeb.
Yeah.
For you, it's actually the work you also put into
Yes,
it.
yeah.
Oh, yes, that's really amazing. So you shared with me 3 songs, and we'll probably play. So I don't know how we're gonna do it. My producer's right there. So by the way, that's my producer. Her name is Joyce.
She told me.
So you sent me songs which are from your latest project.
Yes.
So there's Igobi Keke. Sorry, no, that's not Igobi. Yes,
Yeah,
Igobi
Igobi
Keke
Keke.
with Ojibo Afrobeat. Okay, so first of all, you guys, this man is well traveled, and he knows the who's in the business. He rubs shoulders. So I know Ojibo Afrobeat are from Ghana and the UK. It's you can correct me. Eh? So what I know is that they're a group based in the UK, but they play Ghana style Afro beats. And you've collaborated with them on Igobi Keke for this project that we're launching in a few days. And then you also sent me Ban Piende,
Yes.
which is Makadem and Tombo, and Plandemic, which was such an appropriate song. It's such an appropriate song. And Wororo. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play.
Wororo actually supposed is that's not what I was singing. Because it's a collaboration. Me, I was singing Wololo, which is a little exclamation. You know?
Yeah.
Wololo.
Yeah.
So we're talking about this girl. Oh, she wants to live her life not based on someone's money, but her own money.
Yeah.
But she wants to live by the beach, drive a big car.
Miss Independent.
Yes. So there's a song about. Now, when I did my part in Bagamoyo, in a studio belonging to what's his name? I'm forgetting his name. I'll remember later. So he decided now to bring other people. And him, I think because of their Swahili, he would not sing Wololo, but because their L's and R's are a bit mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he says Wororo.
Wororo.
And of course, he was the project owner. Because me, I did the thing, the studio, and left. And then now he started bringing other people. And then he sent it to a project. That song actually is very big because he managed to send it to the US on some competition.
Yeah.
And this band, some award-winning band there, decided to choose it.
Wow.
To put it in the album. So they negotiated with us. They gave us some money. All we were like 4 people. He brought other 3 people, including himself, into the song. And yeah.
Wow.
So the song is actually in their album. It's online.
Yeah. I've seen it online.
Yeah.
That's how we also exclaim.
Yes,
but then our brothers down across the border say Wororo.
In fact, I came to realize it does not actually mean an exclamation to his is another word.
Altogether, in whatever language he speaks.
It's actually Swahili, but I don't know what he means by that.
Aha.
I've never bothered to ask him. But when these guys were asking us the meaning, I noticed that me and him were clashing in terms of what
it means.
The meaning of that. Yeah.
We'll check it up in the Kamusi. So we're going to play 2 songs first. We're going to play Igobi Keke. And then we're going to play Ban Piende, and then we shall come back. Yeah. Yeah.
Some melodies.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, so I've been talking to Makadem. My gosh, this man is definitely doing what he was born to do. Definitely a musician, like you explained earlier. So we're talking about, so the song you just heard is Ban Piende, and Makadem told me a very interesting story about how that song came to be. And Makadem, please repeat it for my viewers and listeners.
Ban Piende. Ban Piende, which basically means fold your beddings. Ban, fold, Piende, beddings. But Piende, of course, mean skins. We Luo people have refused to upgrade the word from skins to duvets to bed sheets to mattresses. We all that is Piende to us. It's just skins. Yeah. So I'm stuck in Denmark in 2020 because I couldn't fly back home due to Corona. Kenya has banned flights. And then I get a DM in my Instagram from a guy called Edem. It tells me he's a visual artist. I think he grew up in Kenya. Although he says he's Kenyan, but I think he grew up here. And he went to live in the US, where he does his art, a painter, and also has shoe brand. So basically, he does this with many artists. I've seen him doing the newest is I'm a piano song that is done with some South African artists.
Right.
But immediately after me, I think he did one with a Ghanaian artist.
Right.
Yeah. So he does that often. But in my case, I don't know if it, because I don't think he's did the same with them, like telling what he wants them to sing apart from mentioning his shoe brand. Because in my case, he told me, I want you to sing about a girl who wants to be a dancer, but her parents want her to be a doctor. And so he tells me, when you write this song, make it look like she respected her parents. So she first became a doctor and then hit the dance floor and again became very successful, that her parents now began supporting her being a dancer rather than even a doctor. Yes, so he approaches me that story on Instagram. Then, of course, we move into WhatsApp. And because he was paying me, he was paying the studio. We did all that. And then later, I even organized here in Kenya while in the US for the video that was shot at the Bombers. Yes, so basically, Ban Piende is a story of a girl who folded her beddings and studied hard. She became a doctor.
Yeah.
But to please her parents. And then she went and did what she had to do.
So you know what I find very interesting? Excuse me. And it's the same with the song you've done with
Ojibo.
Ojibo, Afrobeats, is you didn't meet Edem,
No, we've never met him.
never met him. And by the I need to correct something. So Ojibo Afrobeats are not from the UK. They're actually Lithuanian.
Yes.
And they only play Afrobeats. That's why Ojibo
Yeah.
Afrobeats.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So for me, that's the one that's right. You didn't meet Ojibo and you didn't meet.
No, we've never met. Ojibo, I'll meet them in June when I go to Europe this time. Because they got me a booker in Lithuania, and apart from getting me a booker who has gotten me a couple of gigs, they themselves have also gotten me a couple of gigs where they want me to perform with them.
Wow.
Yeah. And by the way, if you want to know they really love Afrobeat, one of the songs they told me I should do is Lady by
Fella.
Fela.
Wow.
They're like, can you please do this so we jam together? Yeah, but I think they've noticed that I've been doing a few covers recently with my Nyatiti. Because I've been working on a song by Harry Belafonte. It's called Mama Luka Boo Boo. But I was playing a version by Mighty Gabi called Boo Boo Man. It's the same song.
Yeah.
Wonder why nobody don't like me.
Yes.
Oh, is it the fact that I'm ugly? It's a very interesting
know
song.
that song.
Yes. And I always thought that when I record it, I'll send it to Harry Belafonte. And so when he died recently, it felt so bad.
Yeah.
I was like, no way. I really wanted to shock him with his song done with the Nyatiti.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
There's still his estate though. I know it's not the same thing, but there's
Yeah,
still.
I'll still share it out there so people can see the kind of a unique thing whereby you take a foreign international song and play
Yeah.
it with an indigenous instrument. And right now I'm also working on Wantanamera, also Nyatiti version.
Nice.
Yeah, and Wantanamera is really nice. And I really get a rhythm for slow. It's more house, you know. So I
Yeah.
might end up doing with DJs or something.
Yeah. I noticed, at least with the songs you sent me, so yes, this project is about the Nyatiti man.
Nyatiti jazz.
Nyatiti jazz.
Yeah, it's a bit different from Ban Piende, but you see a song like Igobi Keke, which Igobi Keke basically is a Ghanaian word actually.
Yes. I told you guys.
Yes, Ghanaian word.
Did I tell you?
It's a Danish girl who I met in Denmark. She liked telling me Gobi Keke. So one time I asked her, what do you mean all the time? And she said Gobi Keke. Says, I thought you are an African, you should know. I said, where did you get that word? In Ghana. I said, you know how it's 5 hours by flight from here to Ghana.
Yeah.
And she said, it means it's gonna be okay. It's Ghanaian pidgin.
Oh.
So it's the first song that I wrote. And that song is about life. Life is gonna be okay. Whichever way, that's why you see. Don't run.
Yeah.
Don't you run away. You got to be strong. Be fit to swim along. I say don't cry. Why are you crying now? No tears. No tears, mama. Me, I say don't die. Don't you die on me. Life is so sweet. I'm living along. Don't fall. Don't you fall down, down. Get up and stand up. It's a new day. Ukishikwa shikamana. You got to be a real one. Woman, oh man. Don't you worry. Ati Sina. Mama. Mama, Sina. Yeah, so it's basically about taking life easy.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you don't work, but
Yeah.
I mean, don't stress up.
Yeah.
Recently, I met something that really made me feel good because this gentleman was saying people are actually stressed by their own mind.
I agree.
Nothing else. It's so what you need is peace from your own mind.
Yes.
Because it is your mind that is full of so many things, and this is why that makes you unpeaceful, because these things are going on in your head and you're allowing them. So you need to learn to see things properly.
Yeah.
In life, understand them, and you definitely now, because, and I've seen that with many people. You find somebody being stressed by something. Why is this thing stressing you? No, so you find, especially like if somebody annoys you,
Yeah.
and then you get into that mood. Of course, it's now your mind racing.
Yeah.
So
I like what you just said. So there's something I think about, when people say this person's put me in a bad mood.
Yes.
So can you catch the bad mood? If the bad mood tangible.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's your mind.
Yeah. Oh wow. So we've already talked about Nyatiti. Well, we've started talking about Nyatiti jazz.
Yeah. So the Igobi cake is very, very kind of the idea I'm talking about, the Nyatiti jazz, and you can see Ojibo Afrobeat. How did we work on this song? They sent the beat, and me, I did it in a studio with the studio for Jimmy.
Yeah.
And so I took it to Jimmy. I asked him, "Can I do this?" He said, "Yeah, bring it on." And so he put it in, of course, and then laid it inside there. And then now me, I played the Nyatiti because they also had another thing that I had to do was to change the key, which I rarely do because the Nyatiti is one key. So they were like, "Oh, please put it in F." But then I realized F is just one semitone from my E minor. So I had to change the key, play it, sing, and now they did the rest. They went and I think also did the same in the studio, put their headphones on, and then it was as if now me, I'm also part of them, and because the song is a live studio recording.
Yeah, it's alive, and you're not in that studio with them.
No.
You're here in Nairobi.
I did with the beat that they had sent.
Yes.
With the Nyatiti, then I sent. Then now they had to put the rest of the things, and basing it from their name Ojibo Afrobeat, you can see their love for Nigerian Afrobeat.
Yes.
Which is basically who they are, because even I remember telling you that when I'm going to Europe, and part of the places I'll be touring is Lithuania, and one of the things they asked me is to learn Lady.
Yeah.
So we perform Lady, me and them. I said, okay.
But you've got the chops for it, as they say.
It's
listening
hard.
To you.
Although me, I would have wished to.
But now
if I had
version.
time, was to do it with the Nyatiti. But of course, then they want Lady the way it is.
Okay.
But maybe one day I'll look at it if I can do it with the Nyatiti.
No, as we believe in you. You will do it, and you can do it. All right, so coming up next, so we're going to play 2 more songs from your latest project. And then when we come back, we'll talk about this latest project. We'll talk about the Nyatiti. I learned something very interesting about Makadem and the Nyatiti. He's first and foremost an acoustic guitar player.
Yes.
And then he'll come and tell us, well, when we come back, we'll talk about the Nyatiti and his newfound love. Coming up next, so we're going to play Pandemic first, which was it was appropriate for when you released it. And I think it still is, because now we're seeing cases are rising. And then the next one is Wororo. He talked about Wororo earlier. And how in Bagamoyo, someone translated. Musafiri said Wololo means something else, and as we know it as Wololo.
Me, I sang Wololo, and Musafiri goes with Wororo.
Wororo.
Yeah,
so coming,
because he's the one who registered the song. He wrote his version of.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So coming up next, Pandemic, and then Wororo. We have in the studio Makadem, the Ohangla man himself. And he's here to talk about, first of all, we talked about his career, and we're also going to talk about his latest project, the Nyatiti Jazz. that was Wololo. In as we've decided, it's Wololo. Even the context.
Because me, I'm singing Wololo.
Even the context.
But when Safiri comes in,
Yeah.
you will notice that
He's saying Wololo.
because him is not singing the chorus.
Yeah.
He has verse.
Yeah.
All of them have
Yeah.
beats in the verse. I'm the one singing a verse and a chorus
Right.
because I'm the initiator of the song.
Of the song.
So the rest of the collaborators are just putting in verses.
Yeah. So
when Safiri sings, you'll notice that he says Wororo.
It's that whole Tanzanian accent and so on. So still on Wololo. So I told you, so the first when I played it, so I have the privilege of listening to some of the tracks on this project before all of you. So I've made up my mind. You have to be there on Friday. Makadem will tell you about it. So this is what I want to tell you. When I heard this song, I thought about Tony Allen. Fela's drama. That beat, it's a 16 beat, if I remember correctly when I was reading about it. But that was Tony Allen's signature beat. But then the guys you're working with pulled it off. And what I find amazing about this song, while it's still Afro beats, it's still uniquely Afrofusion.
Yeah. Because of the Nyatiti part.
Yeah.
Because see, the Nyatiti is the main rhythm in it.
Yeah.
So it brings in something else.
It's just, because you have...
Yes, that's continuous.
And then now Tony Allen.
Yes, then now they can do all of these other things.
That musically, that song is genius. It's a fantastic song. And it's on this project, the Nyatiti Jazz.
Yeah.
Okay, now, before you tell us about Nyatiti Jazz, let's go back to Plandemic. Plandemic is Nyatiti Trap.
Yes.
What inspired you?
Actually, the person I was staying in whose house I was staying in Copenhagen, Denmark, is the one day came and asked me, why don't you make a song for the pandemic? I said, why? And then she was like, it's a nice song. I mean, it's a nice idea, and I think it will work for you. And I said, no, me, I don't want to work on what would I even sing? And then she said, you think you're the artist? So one day we were seated drinking beat, and then she says, you could just talk about things that are happening around. And I said, that's it. I'm going to talk about how it's being managed, how people are reacting to it, what they are supposed to do, how government's reaching out, advising, and all that. And then I don't know at what point it occurred to me that I should go hip hop. That's the part I don't remember. Then now I started researching, listening, because she had a son who was 17 at that time, and he listened to trap a lot. So I was like, I would like to do this hip hop, but I don't know where to get the trap. Said, ask so and so, the son. So I told the son, who are the top trap artists? And then he sent me the links. So every day I was just listening, trying to see which one would I pick and try to run with that. So if you listen to Plandemic, you can actually see that it's a trap.
Nyatiti Trap.
Yes.
You can claim you can be the originator. We claim you as the originator of Nyatiti Trap.
I know, because even when I read it, I said it, but because I didn't make too much noise. I made some little noise and then just dropped.
No,
because immediately Plandemic was released, I went for Ban P&D and forgot about
Plandemic.
Actually, Plandemic was this. I was even paid by the PPMC, because at that time they were asking artists to send their projects.
Yeah.
And I sent.
Wow.
And me, I'm part of the artists who ate that money. Yeah.
That's a really great track. So let's talk about your Nyatiti journey as we talk about your project. So your first instrument, or the instrument, at least when I watched you perform, your first instrument was the acoustic guitar.
Actually, that's not the first.
Uh-huh.
I got into music by default, because I was just out of high school, starting to do this. And then my brother got me a job as a tour guide in Diani. And then now there's a day, you know, the booking agents.
Yeah.
So these very old Swedish couples, not so many. So I was taking them what we call the village tour into Digoland. So there were two mistakes that I made, which were not even mistakes. Me, I was out of school. I know history, I know geography. I deal with you that way. So the first thing, you know, is around April. It's raining.
Yeah.
So they complained. How come there's no sun today? Blah, blah, blah. I told them, this is the month for heavy rains in Kenya. So I tell them from March all the way to May and stuff. Like that, but we were told supposed to be sunny. Me, it didn't hit me that I made a mistake. I said, it can be sunny, but it's the month of rains. Then later, we go to the village. Take them for witch doctor, I take them to shops, I take them to school. It was basically a village tour. Then we go to eat local food made by a local, but suits them. And then they asked me, we have not seen Maasais. We were told we're going to see Maasais. I told them these are not Maasais, these are Digo. Maasais are probably 400 kilometers from here. My goodness. That's how I lost my job. They went back and said, the tour guide said this. And immediately me, I was just stopped. But of course, later, when I was reinstated, the owner of the company told me that, you know what, I know you are not to blame, but you need to learn to lie, not just tell the truth. There's when to tell the truth, and there's when not to tell the truth. Because what you did is nothing wrong. You just said the truth. But see, that truth is costing us guests. If we go by you, we will not have a tour. Like, okay, so I'll give you back your job. But by the time he was telling me that, my bro, because I used to go to borrow money from my brother, one time he asked me, you can't sing? I said, piece of cake. I used to sing in school. So give me a tape. So go and learn this. That's how I got into being a musician. So the first time I went, because he was sick, so I was called by my nephew. Them, they were in Mombasa, me and Diane. So, oh, uncle is sick, you have to come and help us. So in the hotel, they gave me a kayamba. So the kayamba is the first instrument.
Wow.
That because singing and playing with it is not really easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I learned to play the kayamba very well. And then it's from the kayamba that now I moved on into the acoustic guitar, because there was this musician, he's still there, it's in Mombasa. It's called Stanley Komora. He would dress like an American country singer, you know, those shirts and stuff. And I really liked him. I wanted just to be like him. You know?
Yeah.
So I went for the guitar. I was like, I want to be like this guy, because he would come and play, you know, alone without even any accompaniment. I really used to like. And I was like, that's what I want to be. So that's how I got into the guitar. And then when I came to Nairobi, I started playing kalimba. There's a time Marcus Kamau helped me with his equipment. I was supposed to go to Sauti za Busara in 2007. So he gave me his equipment for rehearsals. And when he took them back after we had come back, he left a kalimba. It's like a box with spikes. So then I began playing the kalimba. And then I added it as one of the instruments.
Wow.
Yeah, so later, there's a time in 2008 that I got interested in the nyatiti. But then when we went to Europe with Tabu Osusa, my producer, we gave it to a studio producer of Radio France, RFI. RFI, I think in English.
Yeah.
Then they say RFI.
Oui.
So when I came back, I was supposed to buy a but I didn't. Then in 2013, Tabu comes. I find out the very nyatiti I'm using now hanged in his office at the studio.
Yeah.
So I told him, why don't you give me this stuff? But you no longer. I will keep telling you, play this. You don't want it. So every time I would go back, then one time, you really want to play it?
Yeah.
Because this is really good for you. So he gave it to me. He said, go on. Went and looked for Nyagweno. It's called Oduori Nyagwena Masterclass Nyatiti teacher. And that time I could not afford paying him every day. So I only did a few. I did actually 3 classes in a month. But that's when I took off with. And then now, because I'm a musician, having instruments, played other instruments,
Yeah.
it was not hard for me to figure out what to do with it. You can easily now create your own path
Yeah.
rather than going to the same. Because if you see most Nyatiti players, they only play what the masterclass teachers taught them.
Yeah.
Whereas me, I've deviated from that.
Yeah.
I'm create my own, because I do
Yeah.
kwaito, I do whatever.
Nyatiti trap.
Trap, I do. I'm a piano. There's one, I'm a piano right now that we're playing with my band. It's really, really dope. Yeah.
Wow. So the project now, Nyatiti Jazz.
And Nyatiti
This
Jazz.
Friday.
Nyatiti Jazz came when I was in Berlin. So I see this band, a jazz band in a theater. A piano, a double bass, lead guitar, alto saxophone, drama, and percussion. So I told my booker, I'm going to remove that pianist and put Nyatiti. Then I make it Nyatiti Jazz. And she looked at me and said, wow, I'd love to see that. Then I even posted it on my wall and artists started making fun of it. Said, you wait. And now, recently, one of them told me, I can see you're actually serious with this thing. I said, yeah, it's work in progress. So it's still work in progress. And that's why this show on this Friday 19th in Alliance Française from 7 to 10. These are 3 hours of non-stop Nyatiti music for you. For 1,000 shillings, you can buy at Hustle Sasa. Makadem.hustlesasa.
Just let's say that again. Makadem.
.hustlesasa.
.hustlesasa. Wow.
Yeah, that's why
you can get the tickets.
You can get the tickets there online. And let me just check if it's correct. Yeah, .shop.
.shop.
Yes.
So Makadem.hustlesasa.
.shop.
.shop.
Yeah. You can get those tickets online, or you can buy at the gate near your entrance. Still 1,000 shillings. We're not going to add it. And be there at 7, because me, I'll start at 7 all the way to 10, because I really want to bring this. This is going to be my first Nyatiti Jazz experience. That's why we're even calling it experience in Nairobi in a big way. Yes.
Makadem, I really want to be at that show. Unfortunately, I'm traveling. However, if you're listening, Makadem on Friday is the 19th of May, will be at Alliance Française.
Yes.
And he will be performing Nyatiti Jazz for 7 to 10 p.m. This is his Nyatiti Jazz project.
Yes.
We've already played 4 tracks. You guys, you must admit, those tracks got you off your feet. For sure. Because what they did for me, I mean, last night, can I tell you, I went to sleep later than I usually do because I was playing Ban Piene on repeat. Waroro is just a fantastic song. So we played the songs here already. Be there 7 to 10 p.m. Alliance Française. Tickets are 1,000 shillings. You can buy them on makadem.hustlesasa.shop, or you can get them at the gate. Yeah, Makadem or Hanglaman, it's been such a pleasure. I could go on and on and on, but then time doesn't want us to go on and on and on. You're a remarkable musician. You've distinguished for me, by the way, the difference between. Actually, I've had I've had different distinctions, but I think yours speaks to me. A musician just goes all out.
He's an all-rounder.
He's an all-rounder. He's interested in his craft.
Yeah.
And musicianship first. Just such an
personality, side show.
No side shows, no celebrityness. Yeah.
They can come. Like, for example, if you look at Kofi, he's both a celebrity and a musician.
And a musician. Yeah, you can do both. But what stands out first is musicianship.
It should develop on its own, not you looking for it by doing side things.
And the example is Nyatiti Jazz.
Yes.
Surely. Who else? You're the pioneer.
That's math, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. So the pioneer, I'm talking to the pioneer Nyatiti Jazz musician, Makadem. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you.
We are signing off with one of your biggest hits and one of my favorites, Ohangla Man.
Whoa.
It's been a pleasure. We hope to have you here soon when the project is complete. And also just to co-host. I need a co-host sometimes. Yeah. Asante sana. Any last words for us?
Welcome to Alliance on Friday. Come early so you can see my journey on the screen. We're gonna make for you something, a small screenshot to show you my journey because I'm one of what I call a master of reinvention. You know, as a if you want to stay in music, you have to be a master of reinventing yourself.
Yeah.
You can see me. I began the first time I was more of like Mr. Lololova, a rapper. Then I became the Ohangla man when I went to Afro Fusion. Then in between, I started doing Nyatiti, became Gangam Koo because of some song that you should check.
Yes, I've heard Gangam Koo.
Then now it's his Nyatitiness. So you always have to.
Yeah.
Yes.
His Nyatitiness, Makadem, asante sana. All the best on Friday. We'll be rooting for you. Guys, Alliance Française, 7 to 10 p.m. Friday.
Thank you.
Ohangla man.